Senator Inhofe, you're recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank Mr. Johnson for his comments. It's been a mission of love over all these years, so I appreciate that very much. Ms. Mills, we have something we're faced with right now, and it's this level of inflation that creates other problems. Over the past of the last year, how has your company managed the workforce and supply chain challenges in the face of what I'd call the multi-decade high inflation environment that we're in?
Yes, as I spoke before, we are actually one of the biggest highway edge drain installers on the East Coast. So what we do is we put in plastic pipe, and we all know what happened with plastic pipe in the past year. I can tell you we install about 1.5 million feet a year across the East Coast, and our pipe pricing went up 80% since last year. So something that used to be below $1 is now close to $2, and a contractor of my size cannot absorb $1 million loss continually with all these issues.
As easily, perhaps, as some of the larger companies are able to do. And then would you also specifically talk about, as you know, Oklahoma is a rural state, and the unique problems that you're facing with right now in our states like Oklahoma?
Yep, and in Pennsylvania, where our company is located, we're also pretty rural. We're outside of Pittsburgh, but we're having trouble getting people to drive to job sites because of the cost of fuel. Some of our projects are an hour away, and our employees are picking more urban areas to go to work, or either other jobs outside of the construction industry because they can afford to drive that hour and pay for gas.
Hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Well, Mr. Bauer, would you speak to the challenges of the completion of completing these projects, the timely completion of surface transportation problems? What unique problems are you facing?
Yeah, we talked a moment ago about one federal decision and how that has the potential to very much assist the situation, but we also can't overlook the challenges that occur from a lack of regulatory clarity on a lot of other issues. Case in point, you all have been aware for the last several administrations that the issue related to wetlands and specifically waters of the U.S. has bounced back and forth from administration to administration. The Obama administration had a proposal. The Trump administration repealed it. They came up with their own, and the Biden administration has repealed that. And all along, our community is trying to advance projects with this changing set of rules in the middle of the game that makes it very difficult, and wetlands are certainly a significant component of infrastructure projects, and waters of the U.S. isn't the only situation where that occurs, but I think it's a very well understood one to help make the point here.
Yeah, I think it has been. From our perspective, and you've been dealing with this for a long period of time, those of us who are sitting up here on this side of the table, what would we be looking at that needs more attention today than it has in the past? Dealing mostly with the fact that you bring up, and that is that these are problems that different administrations come in and they change because those people who are serving don't always know how difficult it is to change once you get a path going.
I think I certainly recognize the challenge of passing legislation, but the ongoing oversight that you have started performing I think is essential to assuring that, as has been said repeatedly, that the law is implemented as it was intended is critically important. At the same time, we can't overlook the need to deliver the federal funds in a timely manner. You recall the first year of the bipartisan infrastructure laws round of investment, it came 6 months into fiscal year 22. And states obviously were able to commit those funds, but a 6-month late start doesn't help. And so the earlier in the process, in the construction season, that funds are provided through the annual appropriations process is another area besides regulatory certainty and oversight that can be very helpful.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.